Rabbi Reuven Vershuvsky's story is one of heroism, courage, faith and resilience in the face of extreme hardship and unrelenting challenges. Hear him describe how he survived behind the Iron Curtain and emerged with his connection to Hashem and His Torah stronger than ever.
I started already keeping some mitzvahs, and I was scared of bris. I chickened. I was already keeping Shabbos and Yom Tovim, and I didn't have a bris. And my friends kept saying that it's you're already up to having a bris. It took 2 full years from my starting keeping some mitzvahs, more and more mitzvahs, till I had a bris. So one time I decided, okay, you can't avoid it. You have to do it. So I came to one of my friends and I said, okay, I'm ready. The system was every Sunday there were few young people, 2, 3, there was a waiting list for brisim to be done. There was a doctor, a surgeon, a very advanced heart surgeon, Dmitry Borisovich Liflyansky, who would perform the surgical part. And there was a big tzaddik, Reb Geitche Vilinsky, Zichrono Livrocha, who led the whole system. He was one of the Rabbonim, he was one of the Mashpim in Moscow, a very old person. He was a Lubavitcher Chassid. He organized that system. On Sundays, him and another older person, Rabbi Avrom Genin, Zichron Livracha, they had different apartments. That was much more dangerous to give apartment for making illegal brisim. The danger was much greater than just the learning group or a shiur of a foreigner. There was old lady, Babushka Charna. Most of the brisim were in her apartment. She was a big tzaddikas, very tiny, very short woman, tzaddikas. Most brisim were in her apartment. I was directed to come to a certain subway station, and that's it. I didn't know anything. I didn't have an address. I had the time and a subway station. I came there, and I was met by, and I saw another frum boy, a bocher, who would lead me, who would tell me he didn't go with me. He told me another subway station where I had to go. It was a whole chain. I came to one subway station, was approached by a bocher with beard, and was told to go to another subway station. And over there, the Maisa repeated, another boy would come over to me and told me to go to a third subway station. And over there was a boy who would pick me up from subway station and lead me to that apartment, and then disappear. He didn't go in the apartment with me. He just led me to apartment, and in the apartment I found Reb Geisha and Rabbi Avrom Genin and the Dr. Liflyansky, Babushka Charna, was making a lekach and kompot for after the bris. She would serve the bal bris with the lekach and kompot. And before the bris, a bal bris was served with a glass of vodka as a what you call it, as a painkiller. No, Dr. Liflansky also had Novocaine, the same thing that dentists use for local anesthesia. It wasn't like Avram Avinu or people 100 years ago without any anesthesia. He used some Novocaine. I came into the apartment. They asked me. We were two of us. I met the second guy who is the bal bris for that day. He was from outside Moscow, from a little town outside of Moscow, Elektrostal. So they asked us who is first, and I volunteered to be first, and that's it. It was painful, but vodka helped a little, and that's how I was gemalet. The brisim for the babies, Reb Motel Lifshitz was in charge. He was the moil for the babies. Also was very dangerous. The Russian saying that if three people speaking, one of them is definitely a Mossar, informer. If three people speaking, one of them is an informer. That was very close to reality. For example, we had a little group of 11 people, and we had 2 known informers, 2 out of 11 that we knew. One of them came and said that he had to agree to work for them, to cooperate, to inform, to write reports every week. And one didn't tell us, but we figured out that and later we found for fact that he was an informer. 2 known informers out of 11 people. The shul was flooded with informers. Probably in every learning group there was an informer. The walls had ears and eyes, and everything was b'sefer nechtovim. Ein roe ve'oizen shemas v'chol ma'asecha b'sefer nechtovim. That was reality in Moscow. We knew it for fact. Some activities like a bris or something, you would come out of the apartment, out of the entrance, building entrance, and you would see a flash from building across. You would see a photo flash. You were photographed. Every person exiting was photographed. In Moscow shul, I would come. There was a official Rosh Yeshiva, Rebbe Roel Schwarzblatt, Zichron Livrocha. And he was very knowledgeable. He was a Desarov before the war, I believe, or at least in the past he was a Desarov, Rebbe Roel Schwarzblatt. He was a Slobodker Talmud, and real Slobodker Talmud, because we had official rabbi in Moscow who was a fake Slobodker Talmud, and a fake smicha from Slobodka. But Rebbe Roel was Takia Slobodker Talmud. I would come to him once and I said, I need Choshen Mishpat. I have a whole Shulchan Aruch, but not Choshen Mishpat. And he would tell me, why you need Choshen Mishpat? Choshen Mishpat is not Neuhug. today? And Bichlal, who are you to learn Choshen Mishpat? What do you know? But after that conversation, he told me, okay, you know what? 1 o'clock I go for lunch. And I lock the library. Let's suppose you entered before I lock it, wherever make it quick and make sure nobody sees you. Take from the library wherever you could carry out. But make sure that Frida Borisovna doesn't see you. Frida Borisovna was a mikvah lady, also tzedekes, old woman, a mikvah yidina, and she was also a janitor in yeshiva. He would say, make sure Frida Borisovna doesn't see you because she is an informer. Okay, and I take some sforim, and with his permission, with his implied permission. Next time I come to Frida Borisovna, because she has also a key to that library, and she lets me in. She says, I'm cleaning the room 5 to 6, sneak in while I'm cleaning, I don't see you, you take sforim that you need, make sure Rebbe Traile doesn't see you because he is an informer. So each one of them to watch the other. So everyone suspected the other of being informer, of being a Moser.